Welcome back, everyone. This is Grilled of the Diaspora, and I'm your host, Nakaira G. And today's episode is about 23andMe. 23andMe is a DNA ancestry test company, and they have been around for over a decade, and a lot of people have been using that service to trace back their roots. And it has been recently reported that the company is filing for bankruptcy, and people are wondering what will happen to their data. Let's talk about it. Okay, so 23andMe recently announced that they are filing for bankruptcy. And people are trying to figure out what's going to happen to their data. They're trying to figure out what's going to happen to their DNA results, their information, and it's kind of just like a waiting game right now. So according to Al Jazeera, unlike the European Union, the U.S. lacks a comprehensive federal data privacy law. Instead, data protection relies on a patchwork of state laws and industry-specific regulations. Like other DNA home testing companies, 23andMe is not covered by the main piece of legislation governing the privacy of health records, better known as HIPAA, because it is not classified as a medical company. So which is correct? 23andMe is not considered a medical company. It is a DNA testing company, a genealogy company. So it's not necessarily considered a medical company. And so now people are questioning what's going to happen. Even though the company has pretty much, said that the data and customer information and personal information is going to be protected, they can't necessarily promise that. So in another part of this article by Al Jazeera, they mentioned in 2023, hackers broke into the company system and accessed the information of nearly 7 million users. The company was later forced to pay $30 million in a class action lawsuit over the breach. And it goes on further to speak about someone named Kaplan, who was already disinterested with the company and the idea. And for people who don't know, there is still so many people who do not believe in these DNA tests. I, for one, have never done a DNA test. I've never really been interested in a DNA test, mainly because I don't feel that information would do anything for me. I'm very comfortable with knowing that I am a descendant of the transatlantic slave trade. I am very comfortable with just knowing that I am a descendant of Africa, and I'm really okay with that. But I just feel like even though it works for some people, some spiritual things happen and magical things happen for some people, for the most part, it's really just kind of like an expensive test that you get that really we all should be getting at birth, but that's another story. And so apparently with this new bankruptcy, as people are scrambling around, people are also saying that users of this company should delete their data. It might be too late, but there are journalists and different media personnel who are basically saying, people who have their data on that database, they should delete as much of it as they possibly can. So I want y'all to sound off in the comments and let me know how you feel about this and what you think, because so many people predicted this when the company first went public and when it was really announced as a company, especially in the US. There were so many people that were skeptical. But I also wanted to make this video because for people who are looking to do citizenship in Africa, and if there are specific African countries that you want to get citizenship in, this is definitely not a company that you want to work with. There are other companies like African Ancestry that seem to be one of the leading ones that is having direct partnerships with different countries, even though majority of these countries don't have the diaspora, the transatlantic slave trade descendants, citizenship in legislation. There have been different citizenship programs that we've seen, across Africa, with Ghana, with Burkina Faso, in different places, Senegal, and different places, mostly in West Africa. So this is just a heads up for you guys so that you know what's going on. If you made a recent purchase with 23andMe, sorry to you, but definitely try to get your information. So that is it for today. This was just going to be a quick episode. So until next time. Real quick, y'all, make sure you download my new ebook. It is a travel planner and journal. I made this about 1.5 years ago, and it's really, really cool. There are 10 different entries. So as you are on your travel journeys, make sure you download this ebook. It's only $10, and you can get it on my website today at nakedgoldonline.com. You can download it, you can print it, whatever works for you. Make sure you cop that today.